In the diagram, the number placed in each rectangle must equal the sum of the numbers in the two rectangles directly below it. For example, the rectangles containing 1 and 3 are directly below the rectangle containing x, and so x is equal to 1 plus 3, which is 4. What is the value of y? All right, let's do it. So this will be 11, right? 9 plus 2. This guy is going to be 7, right? Because 7 plus 11 is 18. Let's keep going. This is a 5 because 5 plus 2 is 7. This is 6 since 5 plus 1 is 6. And 1 plus 3, well, that's 4. We already know that. And then 6 plus 4 is 10, so y is 10. And therefore, that would be D. In the diagram, point 2,3 is reflected in the x-axis and then move 3 units to the left. What is the coordinates of the resulting point? All right, so first we're reflecting in this x-axis, which is this guy right here. So 1, 2, 3 to get to the x-axis, and then 1, 2, 3. So this is the reflection point right here. We'll call that R. And then it's going 3 units left. So 1, 2, 3. So this right here is our resulting point, and I believe that's minus 1, minus 3. Minus 1, minus 3 is A. Max was given B books. In March, he read 1/3 of these books. In April, he read 5 more of these books. Max then had 7 books left to read. If Max never read the same book more than once, what is the value of B? Okay, so he starts off with B. He reads 1/3 of them, so that means he has 2/3 left. And then from those 2/3 that are remaining, he reads another 5. And they're saying that is now equal to 7. So this is the equation. Okay, so 2b over 3 is therefore equal to 12. 2b is 36, and b is 18. Right? And therefore, that would be A. And we can double check this. So, for example, B is 18, right? He read 1/3 of the book, so he read 12. That means, oh, sorry. He read 1/3 of the books, so that means he read 6. That means he has 12 books remaining, and then he read 5 more books, so 12 minus 5 is 7, and that's what he has left to read. So it all checks out. In the diagram, square WXYZ has side length 15. Point V is placed on WX so that VZ is 17. What is the area of trapezoid VXYZ? So this is 15. This is 15 because it's a square. And then what else do we know here? VZ is 17. Okay, so using Pythagoras, you can figure out WV, 17 squared minus 15 squared. When you do that math, you will get 8. So that means Vx is 7. And then what do they want? Area of trapezoid VXYZ. Okay, so basically it's the area of the square. So VXYZ is the area of the square, which is 15 squared, minus the area of that triangle, 1/2 base times height, so 15 times 18, right? And I think that's it. So this is a 225 minus 4 times 15, which is 60. So that's 165. And therefore that is D. Peter's car uses 10.2 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. Mike's hybrid car uses 6.6 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. Fuel costs $1.40 per liter. If both Peter and Mike drive 200 kilometers, how much less does Mike spend on fuel? I drive a hybrid. It's a Hyundai Ioniq. This is my car. Not that anybody cares, but I just wanted to mention. All right, let's go with the question here. So we got 10.2 liters per 100 K for this guy, Peter. And then for Mike, it's 6.6 per 100 K. And then we're talking about 200 kilometers. So for 200 kilometers, it would be 20.4 liters at $1.4 per liter, and that's $28.56. And then same thing for Mike, 200 kilometers, 13.2 liters at the same price, right? I'm assuming it's the same price for both, and that's 18.48. And then we would have to compare these two prices to look at the difference, and the difference is 10.08. So 10.08 is really the difference, and therefore that's E. PQRS are 4 distinct points on a line segment in the order shown. R is 8, QS is 15. What is the smallest possible integer length of PS? All right, so call this A, call this B, call this C. So they're saying that A plus B is 8, and they're saying that B plus C is 15. And what do they want here? They want the smallest length of PS, so the full length. Okay. All right. Okay, is this done by inspection, or is the system of equations? Because we got 3 variables and we only have 2 equations. So I think it's done by inspection. So let's just see. If I made this 1, this would be 7, and then this would be 8, and therefore the full length would be 16. If I made this 2, this would be 6, and then this would be 9, and the full length would be 17. So it looks like it just keeps going. If this is 3, this would be 5, this would be 10, and the full length would be 18. Yeah, so the smallest I think is 16, so D. For the 5 puzzle pieces shown can fit together without overlap to form a square. If the pieces can be rotated but not flipped, which piece does not get used? Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I'm not good at drawing this, but I'm gonna attempt it. So this guy is 5, right? So I've used this one. Let's see when gotta fit something in here. So this is 1. So we got this one. Okay, then we gotta put in the triangle. Okay, so this piece is this guy, 3. And then I believe I can put, sorry for my terrible drawing, but that's 2. So there you go, I just made it all fit. So therefore the one that did not get used was piece 4. When these integers 17 to 352 are added, the sum is 61992. When the integers 20 to 355 are added, the sum is x. What is the value of x? All right, well, let's see here. Let's go with this guy here. We got 61992. And it looks to me like these are very similar. The only thing is that this one does not have these first 3 numbers, so we're going to subtract those. So that would make sense, I think. And then it does have an additional 3 numbers right here. So it does have 353 plus 354 plus 355. And then you just crunch out that, and it becomes 63000, and that is E. The diagram consists of 34 1x1 squares using only the grid lines to form squares. How many squares of all sizes are in the diagram? Oh boy. So we got 1x1 squares, 2x2 squares, 3x3 squares, and can we get a 4x4? Yes, we can. And I think that's it. I don't think we can get a 5x5. All right, let's do it. Well, 1x1, you can just count them as 34. And the question even tells you that, so that's the easiest one. 2x2, I'm going to let you count it. I'm not going to go through, because it's just going to be, I can't even explain it. It'll be too confusing. But you can count it. There's hold on one second. I myself have to double check here. 22, I believe. Yeah, 22. And 3x3 is 12, and then 4x4 is 4. So when you add all these up, you get 56, 68, 72. So the grand total is 72. So just in case, the 1x1 is a very straightforward, right? But the 2x2, you may not be able to get 22. I'll show you how. So here's the first one, right? This is a 2x2. That's 1. But here's the second one. You see? And then the third one, let's say use a different color. Third one is here. So and then the fourth one would be here, and so on. So you got to overlap them. That's how you get so many. Okay, so that would be C. A bag contains 2 quarters, 25 cents each, 2 dimes, 10 cents each, 2 nickels, 5 cents each. 2 coins are randomly chosen from the bag. Each coin is equally likely to be chosen. The probability that the combined value of 2 coins is 30 cents or more is. So what are the scenarios? 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents, 25 cents. 10 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents. These are the combinations. When two coins are chosen randomly, what are the possibilities? These are the possibilities. Now we have to figure out, I'll just write the total. So this is a total of 10 cents, 15, 30, 20, 35, and 50. But the next part is the most important, which is how many ways. There's only one way of getting that. There's 4 ways of getting this. 4 ways, 1 way, 4 ways, 1 way. So what we want is 30 cents or more, right? So we want this guy, and this guy. So that would be 4, 4, and 1. So that would be 9 out of the total, which is 15. So that's the probability. And that obviously reduces to 3/5, and therefore the answer is B.